episode of Rebuilding Portsmouth. Now, I'm incredibly cold right now. I don't know why, it's just really bloody cold in here, so I'm going to try to not shiver while I speak. So, yeah, in the last episode, we beat Juventus by 3-0 in the Champions League and gave ourselves a really good chance coming into today's game. But it was off the back of a poor run of form, and by poor run of form, I literally mean that we drew a couple of games, because a poor run of form for Portsmouth now constitutes us not winning every single match at the moment, it would appear, because we are in amazing form. But I think since that game against Juventus, things have really stepped up. You know, we won the game against Southampton 3-0, we then beat Juventus 3-0, and we've just continued on much in that same vein of form. Now, before I get into that though, I showed you Mamute, the Brazilian guy, a couple of episodes ago, and I'd completely forgotten that I'd even done that. But yeah, you guys reckon I should sign him. I'm trying my hardest at the moment, basically. We are trying to negotiate everything, because I don't have much in transfer funds at the moment. We had 4 million. Now, my board have actually increased it without me even asking to 9, which I've managed to get up to 12.9 million by shoving it all on transfer funds, because the wage budget at the moment is completely redundant, because I plan to move some players on in the summer, free up a lot of money with that. Anyway, now, what has been happening is basically I tried to offer them, like, because I didn't have so much money up front, I tried to offer them a lot on the back end, and I tried to get players to go as well, so Milton Peralta, Jefferson Rios. And the first time I'd agreed all that, but we didn't quite have enough transfer money to go and buy the rest of the player which we needed to complete the deal, so it fell through. Second time round, I tried to offer Augusto Archubi to bring down the original price. Unfortunately, he then wouldn't agree to move to Santos, which then fell through. So third time of asking, I tried the original deal again, but because we had a bit more money, I could, you know, do it, and I put a bit more on the back end, so like 20 million after 12 months or something, just because we can put it off for a bit, and that will just get him in then, you know. Unfortunately, this time Milton Peralta decided that he wasn't going to leave, even though the first time he'd agreed to leave, so that was annoying. I'm now on the 4th attempt at signing him, and I'm really worried because he's wanted by Arsenal and Sporting Lisbon, and I'm hoping that he'll come to us instead because we are in the Champions League, but then so are Sporting. So I'm worried, I'm on the fence. However, we have agreed the deal. Also, because for some reason we've gone back a few times, his agent has dropped his fees every single time. Like the third time, he's offering like 3.5 million. At first he wanted 9 million in agent fees. So we're making a bit of money back in there. And I think that comes back to an article I was reading, and again I'm going to plug strikerless.com, because seriously, they make some unbelievable articles, and this one was relating to how to get agent fees narrowed down. And as you know from my Red Star save, I fucking hate agent fees, and I'm going to be trying this out on Red Star now. But basically, you know, if you haven't seen this, please do check out strikerless.com and go check out their article about agent fees if that's something that really does bother you, particularly when you've not got the most amount of money and your board won't let you spend loads on agent fees. Do be sure to check that out, it's seriously worth it. So as a result, we've got, the deal has been agreed at the moment. We're waiting for work permits and stuff. I'm hoping that we can get it all going through, and he might even be able to join us in January, which would be something else. If we could get Mamute and Santos for the rest of the season together, that would just be incredible. So there you go, guys. That's the main thing. The other important thing is the fact that I'm probably going to be starting streaming later in this week. I intend to start streaming on Friday evening, this Friday. I'm going to start at 9, because if I started at 8, then that would coincide with my own video, so I'd be literally competing with myself, and I don't want to do that. So I'm going to start at 9 potentially. I'm going to just do like 2 hours or something, just because it's my first time I've ever done it. I will be doing a brand new save, one which I'm not doing on YouTube, just something else. I'm not going to tell you what it is yet, because I really haven't decided, but I have got some ideas in my head that I'm going to go with, because I want it to be something that I'm really just going to enjoy, and hopefully you guys enjoy watching it too. So if you haven't, obviously most of you don't, because I haven't used Twitch really, I'm going to put the link to my Twitch channel in the description to this video, so you guys can go follow me on there. That way you'll have a notification when I do actually stream, and so on and so forth. You know how it is. Right, let's get into what's happened this month. We started off away at Burnley, and I said that was going to be an incredibly tough game for us, and if I'm honest, it wasn't. It really wasn't. I can't pretend that it was when it just wasn't. Also, I know a lot of people were starting to doubt Lucarelli before, but the fact is, this season he's been absolutely godlike. I mean, genuinely, he's not played that many games, but he really does know how to score when he gets his chances, as does Santos putting the balls in. Santos with the cross in 17 minutes, and Lucarelli at the back post there to make it 1-0 to Pompey. It's his 5th goal of the season already. He's definitely doing well off the mark. He's in our top scorers. I'm pretty sure he might even be the number 2 scorer for us, just to give you an idea. Then, not long after that, some great work on the left here. This time Van Os out to Santos. Santos whips it across on the rebound off a Pipoca, and Lucarelli puts it in the net for number 6 of the season. And a 2-0 win away at Burnley is a really solid result, because they're a good side, and I'm pretty certain that we've lost here in recent years and slipped up, but we did not do so today. We were on form. moving into our next game, we were of course at home to Crewe in the League Cup, and I decided to just put out a relatively weakened side and then rotate things a little bit. Now, Millington generally always seems to get in the team when this happens anyway, and today was no different. And to his tally, another 2 goals, which is just incredible. I think that takes his tally for the year to 14 goals now in all competitions. Ivančić to the edge of the area for Tercio, round the corner for Millington. It's going to come back across here, but being mopped up by Pierre Peters. It was another chance to try out there, and you'll see that Jefferson Rios got a start on the left here in place of Santos, which was definitely worth, I just felt like Santos was worth resting for this one. We do need to keep him fit. Unfortunately, as you're going to see, that was a complete misnomer because something bad's happened anyway. Vanos to the edge of the area here, gets tackled brilliantly, I should point out, though. But it wasn't going to be enough. We were always going to beat Crewe, I felt, and hopefully get a decent draw in the next round. And I can tell you, we have been drawn away at Hull City in the quarterfinals of the League Cup. So I'm telling you, there's a good opportunity for us to get to the semi-finals of the League Cup again, even though I'm not even trying this time. Kaya's ball in, and Millington off the crossbar initially, but puts it in on the rebound for goal number 14 of the season, which is important to have. Right, sorry if you could hear my phone going off in the background there. I was out of reach for me to turn it off at the moment, basically. Spina, as well, came on off the bench for us. He's rarely really played for us. He and Lucarelli signed at the same time. And, yeah, Lucarelli's broken through, and Spina never really quite made it. But he has scored now. This was his first ever goal in league football, or in football, if any sort, I think. He maybe got some out on loan, but yeah, it's just nice to see him get on the score sheet. Peters' ball in here, lovely little touch from Spina, just to take it past his man, drills it low, and it is 3-0 Portsmouth there. First ever goal for Carmine Spina, well done you. So, 3-0 up, into the quarterfinals where we've got Hull City away, and we've already beaten Hull City 5-0 away from home this season, so I feel there's a pretty good chance that we could be playing in another League Cup semi-final. And to add insult to injury, and I say insult, the only other big side that I could be scared of, so to speak, at the moment that's left in the cup is Manchester United. So you never know, we could get ourselves into another final, but I just really think that this is the year we're going to win something. We have to. And in our final game of the month, we were at home to Brighton. Now, Brighton, we slipped up against at home last season, and this season, I worried that we'd do the same thing. I really did. We may have only won this 1-0. It was a lovely bit of ball in from Santos there to Vanos, who smashes it into the back of the net. And that was all we really needed in the end. We had our chances, but in the end, I just went to defensive approach just to make sure that we got the win, basically. Santos did have to come off injured, though, and that is a worry. And Santos is now going to be missing for 4 to 5 weeks. Oh, we can't. Like, he's so important to the way we're playing at the moment. Look at these results. We're into November now, and we've still not lost a game, and we've only drawn once. Now, here's how the league's standing after 10 matches. We are on 28 points from 10 games, which, if I recall, was actually the exact same amount of points that we had this time last season. We had 28 points from our first 10 games last year as well, so I'm a little bit worried. But that being said, we are also 6 points clear at the top of the Premier League, averaging 3 goals a game, and we've only conceded 4 goals in the Premier League so far. And, I mean, that's just mental. 2 of which were against Spurs, and 1 against City, I think, and 1 against Everton. So 7 clean sheets for Belongo in the league is crazy and amazing. And yeah, 6 points clear of Chelsea, 9 points clear of Stoke and Manchester City, and obviously 9 points clear of Spurs as well. Brighton, good to see. Bear in mind, Brighton and Burnley were not easy wins. 6th and 8th respectively. They're good sides. They're no pushovers. Next up, we've got West Ham, which should be slightly easier for us in theory because they're further down the league. So I'm just wondering how long we can keep this winning run going. And, it's crucial for us that we can get away with doing something like that, basically. So yeah, anyway, let's move ourselves on a little bit and take you to the squad. Right. Top goal scorer, Norman Millington, with 14 goals in 15 matches, which is utterly brilliant. Just truly crazy. And hopefully he'll carry on just like that. As you can see, Lucarelli is our second best goal scorer with 6 goals already this year. Bipoca on 5. As for assists, well, Santos has the most with 10 in 12. Not so many goals for him at the moment, but, he'll find his feet, don't worry. And 5 assists for Lucarelli as well, which is great to see. Man of the match is Millington, of course, with 5. Yellow cards, Robert Gray and Ivančić with 2 apiece. Red cards, Gerard Vanos, of course, has 1, which is a shame. Average rating, Santos, of course, is still flying with an 8.52, which is crazy. Key aerial challenges is Lopez Souza. Key passes, 77 key passes for Santos, dominating that now. Key tackles, 16 for Robert Gray, and interceptions, of course, is still Robert Gray. As for value, Millington and Vanos now on to 31.5 million. He's getting better. That's scary. Right, so, Juventus. This is crucial. What tactic are they playing today? Let's just have a look. Take a little look. Right, okay. We're going to go with our normal tactic, not R2 up top, and we're just going to be try to be solid today. Obviously with Santos out probably after that. No. Oh, Archubi, of course, yeah. Can play on the left. Lucarelli on the right after a great season so far. It's still a very strong looking team. Barnes, Gray, Lopez Souza, Kaya, Ivancic, Gomez, Archubi, Vanos, Lucarelli, and Millington, of course, Belongo in goal, and a pretty solid bench too. You know, I think we should be able to avoid defeat, but then away from home in Europe at times, we have still struggled. So I'm not going to go uber defensive against this game. You know, we've done well enough so far to feel like we could possibly win here. And if not, I think a draw would be fine by me, because a draw would leave us 4 points clear with 2 games left. You know, I think the draw would be perfect. Hopefully, we can do that, though. As long as we don't get battered. Like, we were pretty poor away against Locomotive. No, at home to Locomotive. And we still got to go away there. So it's not all sunshine and rainbows just yet, guys. Things could still go horribly wrong for us in Europe. But I feel like, you know, we've still yet to lose a game in all competitions so far this season. And I don't want it to be today. This is the biggest test we're going to have for a little while. The next big test we've got is Manchester United. But I think that's at home. So there's a potential win for us there as well. You just never know. Let's see. Juventus have started pretty well. I'm just going to turn retain possession on just to try and get a bit more of the ball. Someone told me that possession has become a lot more important since the update. So I'm just going to see if that makes any difference in this game, because half an hour in we've not had a single... Ah, there we go. We finally had a shot. But that has been a really poor first half. Literally nothing's happened. I'm so sorry. That is terrible. Not a single highlight for the entirety of the first half there. Right, what can we change? Or do we really need to change anything at the moment, I guess is the question. Change a few of those things around. Right, they've gone 3 up top. Wow. Which means they mean business. Which makes me wonder if I should switch to this tactic. Just drop them back a little bit. And, yeah, we're going to swap... This is sort of relying on more counter-attacking. It's not actually counter-attacking, it's more of a defensive style, but it plays like a counter-attacking system when I've used it. So that's the idea now. We're just going to... You know, they're going 3 up top, which means that they're going to be a bit of a handful in the second half, potentially. But if we can... I don't know. Lokomotiv Moscow are beating Galatasaray. That's, I guess, good. I don't know. Hard to say, really. 2-0 up, though. Right. Next change. I'm tempted to bring Tercio on for Vanos, because he's not had the best game, and he's looking a bit knackered. First change. I'm probably going to bring Sassy on in a little while to get him to run at them a little. But for the moment, I'm just going to make sure we've got the right highlight. I do have it on key. Yeah, I've got it on key highlights. Kingsley Coman's been injured for Juventus. There is not... Right, 73 minutes into this game, and we've not had a single highlight yet. This is mental. Have you guys ever had a game on FM where you've got it on key highlights and there hasn't been a single key highlight? I'm genuinely curious now, because this happened to me one time before on FM 14 when I was managing Fulham. We were playing against Brighton in the Championship, and we had an entire game that finished 0-0 without a single highlight. Very, very strange. Will there be any highlights in this game whatsoever? Let's mark Florian David down a little bit. Made tactical changes. Yeah, we're going to make those tactical changes. Go on, last 10 minutes, something. Right, who else can we bring in? Oh, Ivancic is looking absolutely buggered, but I don't really have a like for like. I'm just going to throw on some fresh legs up front for the last 8 minutes of this match. Yes, we'll mark him then. This is genuinely looking like there's going to be no highlights in the entire match. I think, genuinely, guys, that we might have just gone through an entire match on FM without a single highlight. Because this won't count, really. If this ends 0-0 here and there's no real... Oh, no! Oh, come on now. Don't believe it. Whoa, Jesus. One highlight in the entire game and it's a 94th minute winner for Juventus. Crap. What is Ivancic doing? Apart from flailing in the air and heading it directly to Domenico Berardi, that's terrible. Juve 1, Pompey 0. I can't believe we've lost this. I mean, I would say they deserve it, but neither team deserves it. This game had 0-0 written all over it. Go on, Archubi. Ugh. Juve 1, Pompey 0. That's a massive disappointment, I have to say. No, hell no. I'm not going to say anything there because... Whoa. This is getting a little bit tense now. We're making a bit of a pig's ear of this group, surprisingly. Considering how well we've been playing domestically. It's going to be tough going into those last 2 games, but we do still go in having got... You know, we've got a home game against Galatasaray, I think. I think it's at home anyway, and an away trip to Russia to play Lokomotiv. That's going to be crucial for us. We could really be in trouble here, right? I don't think we deserve to lose that, but I also don't think we deserve to win. I don't think anything deserved. That was the sort of game that both teams deserved to lose for being so damn boring, if I'm honest. Damn. Right, so let's just have a little look at some of the other Champions League groups. Barcelona are through with flying colours, and it is between the rest of them basically to pick up those points. City are dominating their group already, as I kind of suspected they would do. Bayern Munich and Milan, well, I mean, that group could go either way. Inter and Atletico, although Hamburg could still come back into that one. Real Madrid and Paris Saint-Germain look pretty much set. Well, Real Madrid are. Sampdoria, interestingly, are top of their group, despite the group containing Manchester United. That's interesting. Or that might just be because of the way the fixtures have fallen. Chelsea and Benfica are top of Group A. Not top, but you know what I mean. I also had a little look at Dejan Kovacevic, but I don't know. I mean, I had enough to get a star rating, not enough to actually know much about his positions, but nah, not really for me. But that's poor. I was expecting more than that, and then again, it's our first defeat in any competition this season, and it's come in November. I just felt that we could have been a lot better in that game, and it was just a really, really poor match. I'm sorry that you had to see that. We've had so many good games this season. I just figured that this one was going to be one of them. Right, this is starting to get a little bit tense now. Galatasaray at home, and then we've got more of a gap in between that and the next one, so that's fair enough to do that. That last game against Lokomotiv Moscow could actually be very important. If we can beat Galatasaray, that's good, because that will make sure that we wrap up third place, and it will be important to see what happens between Moscow and Juventus. I'd like to think that Juventus would beat them, but I really do want to finish top of the group, though. It's going to get a little bit dicey, that's all I can say, and unfortunately with no dead rubbers, we might end up actually playing all 6 group games at the moment. I wasn't expecting it to go quite down to the wire as this, but, you know, we have only ourselves to blame for that. No, I'm actually tempted in the next episode to do the the Lokomotiv Moscow game on the last day. I feel like Galatasaray at home is going to be winnable, and I know that's taking a bit of a risk, but there's only 2 games in between the next one, and I feel like I'd be selling you guys short on the amount of stuff to put in an episode. For the next episode, we're going to do the final group game against Lokomotiv Moscow, because it's going to be an absolutely crucial one. I know that we've got Man United in the Premier League before that, but you know, this could be live or die for us, because even if we win our next match against Galatasaray, we're not going to be able to get well. Or will we? It seems unlikely that if we were to win that, and I'll tell you what I'll do. In the next episode, we'll be doing either Lokomotiv Moscow or Manchester United, depending. If it's a dead rubber and we're already through, then we'll do the Man United Premier League game. But if not, then we'll be playing the Lokomotiv Moscow game to decide our fate in the Champions League. So guys, if you like what you're seeing, please drop a like on the video, and if you'd like to even more than that, please subscribe to my channel for more Portsmouth and Red Star Belgrade in your inbox every single day at 5:30 and 8 o'clock, and I will see you guys in the next episode for either the Man United game or the Lokomotiv Moscow game. See you guys then. Bye-bye.